And we're back with the modular portion of this architectural kit. This is the interior. So we have the different walls, regular wall unit, 4 to 3 unit, wall with a door cut out, door with a window cut out, floor, and then we have the ceiling. So some put on its own layer. And just to uh, remind you how easy this is, once you get these pieces built, you can go to the grid, and let's drop this down even more to make it even easier to see everything. And once you have your model kit built, we can very easily make a larger structure. So if I take this piece and I'll just leave the grid snap on, and I'll just do some shift drag. So I'm going to clone this around. So here's the floor, and then put this in its own group just for time being, and then shift drag. In Unreal Engine, it's alt drag, so grab them both and shift drag. There we go. So we just kind of made a four floor unit there. It's pretty easy to identify, and you won't see any of the seams. So when it goes to render, it should be seamless for you, especially if you have your UV map set up correctly, which we will look at that as well. And then I can grab a wall unit piece over here, and let's see if I shift drag this one over to the side here. And for this one, I'll have it overlapping just for the time being. So I have that piece there. I'll put that into the group here. So we'll do modular test. And then I should be putting these as GRPs as groups, but all good. So I take this one here and go to my rotate key, shift rotate, and then after I let go, hold down J, snap it over, and W. I was hitting spacebar like I was in Unreal Engine for a moment there. And we can snap that just over the threshold of in front of or behind. Let's see. I turn that grid off. Oh, okay. Yeah, that might be a bit much for that one. Shift drag again, and rotate, shift rotate, let go of shift, and then reactivate the J key. Looks like I need that back to 10 after all. I'm just trying to do it for clarity purposes. But yeah, if I want these over the ledge here and aligning with the back lip there, I need to have that set to 1110. Super easy to remember, right? Metric system. And we can bring this in right here. Again, I like to use a control arrow, not the tip, but the leg of the arrow whenever possible. And shift drag that over. There we go. And then I could take the door here and shift drag that over for an entryway and put that in a modular kit set as well, and take the window one over here and shift drag that over. And we can make like a little dwelling, right? Very easy, straightforward one, but nonetheless does what we need it to do. There we go. Take this one, delete it. So I'm just showing you don't. All you need to test with is you just need one corner. You just need two walls, one with the door, one with the window, and a floor, and a ceiling in there. But it's super fun. It's making your own Legos, which if you were to think of it that way, who doesn't like the idea of making their own Lego set, right? I mean, that's pretty awesome to be able to do that. Now, when you come to these corners, when you do the L turn in and they intersect, it's okay. You're not going to see anything because only the top's going to have the Z fighting where the faces share the same size. When you do these corners here, however, then you do want to be careful that you don't have Z fighting here. So you'll see the little flicker here. So the faces of this mesh here, and here are sharing the same space here. And what'll happen is they'll flicker, called Z fighting, or the Z buffer is trying to see which one renders in front of which. But since they perfectly align and share the same space, they will flicker and fight. So you want to avoid that. And so if I do that one again, shift drag out another one. And then maybe there's another door over here. Shift drag, switch over to clone or J, and bring that over here. There we go. And you should be able to figure out how you want to do this without too much trouble. Drag it over. And you see, whenever possible, I'm trying to keep the pivot to the outside. It's like the alignment just seems to work better that way. You see it's crisscrossing here. You don't want the Z fighting for the sides of the walls. But the outside and the corners is usually okay. And you can, we can modify that very easily just by grabbing this piece and bringing it out a notch, or bringing this piece in and over like that. This one here is fighting there. You just bring that over a piece like that. So it's all still aligning. Like you'll have these little 90-degree wedge underneath, but that works out okay. You can always just do, there's little filler pieces you could put in there. And then if we go to take our window over here, so we'll get the window and the window pane, and see, we'll shift drag some windows over and put them inside the modular test. And oh, I just undid the whole thing. That was really strange. I want to do that. And you see where that one's at. And this should remain in place. Through there. Grab that whole thing. Let's just group it together. Call that window. For 01. There we go. And we'll grab that whole thing. And we'll, instead of the shift drag, I'm going to duplicate because I don't really trust those drags I was doing behaving correctly. There we go. Oh, yep, looks like I missed some panes. How'd that happen? Ah, got left behind somehow. I wonder if there's duplicates. No, it's okay. So yeah, so you have like a little model kit for a house, and then you do the roof. We'll do the roof in the next section. And but let's wrap that up. So I just had to take this whole thing, the modular test, and make sure that, oh, did these windows all get left behind as well? Drag that all in the modular test. Okay, they got ungrouped. Window 5, huh? There we go. I think there's one window pane left over there for some reason. I can't quite. Which one's the frame itself? That's the window pane. 1, 2, 3. Missing one. Oh, there. Okay, there we go. Yep. The joys of organization. There we go. So if I grab everything in here and make a new layer, we'll call this modular test. Test layer. And you can never name something the same in the channel layer as you do in the outliner, so sometimes you just got to add the word layer in there to make sure that it doesn't give you an error unexpectedly. It can be really annoying sometimes. All of these wall units here also go inside the test group. There we go. So now I have everything in there. There we go. Yep, and let's see if it's all on the modular test layer. It is. Excellent. So a nice, clean, and organized room. So let's just focus on this room here. And let's do some furniture. So something like a lampshade, I suppose. So we'll go to the Create Palette, Polygon Primitives, and let's see if there is a pipe. So we'll do the pipe So just click and drag on the ground, just do a lampshade real quick, and then click and drag again to go to the height, and then click drag again to do the thickness. So right about there, should be good. There we go. And bring that up, and we'll just scale it down whatever size we want. So there's a very simple lampshade using just the pipe, which one we haven't covered yet. There's a bunch of stuff we haven't covered yet. But, let's see, and then we'll do the actual lamp itself. So to do the base of it. Oh, looks like I hit the button on accident a little fast there. So maybe just go there, out one, and then up. There we go. And if we go, before we do anything to it, we could still add, change the settings on here. So let's give it at least a cap right there. And that way, underneath on the bottom of it, we don't need, let's see what's going on. Oh yeah. The floor can get in the way too, just like everything else on there. So let's see if we have the furniture interior parts right here, walls and floors here. Here we go. So while we're doing the furniture, turn the walls and floors off, and while we're doing the while we're doing the furniture, let's make sure we're putting the pieces onto the furniture layer, and let's make sure the interior parts, the walls and floors at least, are easy to turn on and off, and then the ceiling is still easy to turn on and off. Okay, so we'll turn off the walls and floors, go back over here, and get rid of the edge loop from the top cap. Control backspace that one, and now the grid's going to start really battling with us. More than we would want it to, or more than we should be comfortable with. So we might want to turn this on and off once we start shaping the furniture, because it's not that big of a grid snap for smaller objects. So the grid snap we've been using up until now has been primarily for the major pieces. Yeah, so that's already getting too big. So, oops. Wrong button. There you go. And bring that down a little bit. And then go to the edge here, scale it in. I'm just going to do the post straight off of there. Bring it up a little bit, and doesn't like that. So we just got to make sure we grab just what we need here. Let go of the bottom one. There we go. Give it like a little arc there. And then go to face mode, grab just these faces here, grab just deselect what we don't need, and shift to extrude, right? So just shift extrude that out. That. And still a little bigger than I think it should be, so we'll just grab the rest of these. Make sure I get let go of that one. And from more of a top-down view, grab the two axes here and scale it in just on that axis. Get a nice smaller size pull. That should work okay. And then continue, go back up here to the face. And we'll do a shift. Again, is a shortcut to extrude, pull, and then switch to move, shift again. Just making like a little socket here for it. And then back to scale once again. And should put that lampshade out of the way. It's all good. Shift drag that one as well. And then back to move. And shift drag, pull that down a little bit. And we'll go to faces here. And let's see, let's grab all the faces of the extrusions. Remember, they get unsmoothed. So I'll just go to all of those, and we'll just average them all out under mesh display. If you want to have a seam some sort here, so we can grab this piece here, go all the way down with it, and then maybe if we want to look fitted, like it's made of separate parts, these are usually bolted around, so we can go in here and it's shift right click, and we can do there's bevel edges, soften and harden edges, there's delete edge, there's extrude edge, there's a crease tool, insert edge loop tool. So we can click and drag that exactly where we want it. So we'll go right about there, and then double click that and just scale that in a tiny bit like that. That works. And move it down. So just catching the light, the shadows of having things be fitted differently, and then go around this one, maybe bring that disc down with a weighted bottom even more. And then shift right click, and we're going to go to the bevel tool this time. So bevel edge is right here, and we can just middle mouse drag side to side on there. Looks like 0.3. Looking pretty good. And we'll go up to the top around this little socket here. Double click and double click. And a little thick for the plastic portion that holds the bulb in place. So bring those in, then grab the edges, double click, double click, double click. Go to the tools, shift right click to bevel. Should be a tiny little bevel edge, so let's try like 0.1, and that's too small, so let's try 0.3, and there we go, just enough to get rid of that sharpness that you normally would not see in the real world. That should work. Okay, and then we can go back to this object here, and everything should be snapped to the grid still. So if we go to the top viewport and go to get out of the isolation mode here, and see, is this one also isolated? No, top view is over here. There we go. And yeah, that should snap right to it. There we go. And you see because I had the grid snap on when I made them, you see the thickness is exactly the same as the base below, so I'll just let's scale that in. That should look a little bit better. There we go. And maybe snap it right to where the light bulb would be. And we want to taper it. We could taper the top right here, so we could do it that way. We could also grab the bottom and taper that outward. So something like that would work. So that's just fine. Let's make the bulb. So for the bulb, we'll do a sphere. So go to the ground here and just drag one out. Way too big. Turn that off. And simple shapes, right? Maybe we want it to snap. Again, once we are positioning it, there we go. So let's grab these two objects here and isolate them, and let's get the bulb. Shape down. There we go. Let's set it in there for now. You don't have to do the bottom threads and all that for this. Just make a really simple lamp and light. It's okay. We don't even have to attach the shade to the thing if you don't want to, but I'm going to just for shits and giggles. So for this one here, do the edge. Grab these edges here, shift right click to multi-cut. No, not that way. Insert edge loop tool. There we go. Right about there, and then do another one just below. Right about there. Grab the faces. Whoops. Tool still active. Switch over to Q. Selection key. There we go. And then go to the move or scale, hold down shift and just pull that out a little bit. And then shift again, scale down a little bit like that. And then let's grab every other one. See if that works. Again, if you're using even numbers divisible by 2 for these types of radial symmetries and whatnot, you shouldn't have any problem. You're going off the farm and doing some weird stuff, you're going to have problems. There we go. Okay, shift right click. And we're going to extrude the faces. Switch over to scale and scale them each in just a little bit. And then this is maybe going to be a lot, but it's okay. And then if we want to pull them out just a little bit, like that, and then switch to move, and then scale again, and then shift scale out. But it is making them bigger, which is definitely what we don't want to do. So let's see if we can get it. Yeah, we don't want that. So one of those times when it doesn't really work very well, switch over to component, hopefully, and goof this up too bad. There we go. Okay, buy local component. There it goes. You can a little bit better where you want it. And now if we pull them out again by local component, so it's going to take the face direction of each individual component into account. As it does this, we can pull these out all the way and just kind of push them till they touch the lampshade. And you can also bring them like up or down. You bring them up to a certain distance, of course, you want to check they're not going to pop through too close to the outside as it passes through the lampshade itself. Yeah, that works. So you go back in here, go all the way around, and maybe insert another edge loop right closer to about there. There you go. That gets rid of that harsh shadow. It's fighting if they have a long, sharp crease. Sometimes you get more than you would want. And if we want to round off this lampshade, we can just hit 3 on the keyboard. Go to object mode. And same thing with the lampshade. 3 on the keyboard. A bulb, I think, is really big, but nah, who cares? Go out. It's still stuck in object mode. What's going on? Okay, so anyway, there's your lamp with the bulb on there. If you want to combine them, you want to put different material IDs on each one so that the shade and the bulb and the stand are each made out of different materials. But what we can do is we can Control G, we can group them all together, and then D and V, once they're grouped, we can change the center pivot of that group. Whoa. Hit something. Unbeknownst to me. Let's see what I have selected in the outliner group. So the group itself, yeah, there's the pivot for the group itself. There's the P cylinder, so lamp underscore stand and P sphere. So bulb and the pipe, of course, is the lampshade. And, you know, if you do like a kerosene lamp or a torch or whatever, just make some kind of light. Just go through, you know, how the radial inserts and scales go on that. And that should be a good enough exercise for you. We'll call this lamp underscore GRP. And I think if I'm going to select, if I want to select a group, there's a whole pull down and interface for that. But yeah, let me come back to that because there's some other stuff to show you before we do that. Let's go out of bring the walls and floors back and grab the lamp group. And you can put that over maybe in the corner. Something like that. Let's do a table and a chair. So we'll do just a regular square table first. So just make a cube first. So just do a little 2-to-1 or 4-to-1. Let's just do a 1-to-1 ratio. Bring it up a little bit. There we go. And then pop that up a little bit. There we go. And then we can unhide our robots, right? So we have our custom robot models over here. So just grab a robot and bring him in. It's our reference. He's a tiny bit, he's a bit of a shorter robot, but he's still about the right size that we need. Okay, let's go to the edge tool, and remember our tool setting is going to be wherever it was last time, so we can go back to object here and shift right click to bevel edge and give it a few segments, and maybe go to depth and maybe push in. You want to push or keep it pushed out. And let's lower down how much it's doing. There we go, about there. And then let's check underneath as well. So maybe just a single bevel. So shift right click, bevel edge, and keep a tiny, just enough so it's not a sharp, super sharp edge. Super sharp edges make things look CG. They make them look really fake. So that's what we're trying to avoid. Whoops, looks like I didn't go all the way around on that one today. No, I did not. Undo, undo, undo. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, double clicks don't work on a triangle, on a intersection, right? Easy one to forget. There we go. Okay, shift right click, bevel edge, pull up the settings. I guess this is not interactive, so shift right click to bevel without the settings. And let's try 0.15. There we go. And 0. Yeah, 1 segment is enough for the bottom part. That should be okay. And even that's maybe a lot. Maybe we could go 0.05. Okay, there we go. Just enough to round that off a tiny bit. And trying to remember how this, how well this works on the corners. I believe it works really well. Yeah. So if we want to go like 0.1, that is so odd. But let's grab the 4 corners of this thing. 1, 2, 3. Is it nice not to worry about all quads anymore, right? We're not doing organic characters that can bend and flex and have to have good edge topology. A hard surface, you got a little bit more freedom. So now if I go in here and I bevel this edge here, I might go 0.025. Yeah. And maybe even smaller, maybe 0.015. Okay, still too much, maybe. 0.0. There we go. And just trying to get that rounded out nicely. Goes around the corner well. Okay, I like it. Do whatever works for you. You maybe as long as there's one bevel at least, don't leave it like totally hard. Sharp edge. It's just you never see that on a table. It's you ever bang yourself on a sharp edge table you look at, it's not even that sharp and it hurts. So I turned off the wireframe so you could see how this is smoothing out. And then if we smooth it again, with the actual smoothing algorithm, then you know it's gonna get all weird for us. But if we go to the edge all the way around here and do this one all the way around, and again we're gonna have to do multiple double clicks because of the triangle or tri-star intersection there. The one down below went all the way around, no problem. So if we grab these edges here, and see how much the walls and floors and stuff get in the way. It's just really annoying. So, and there we go. And you could even hold the edges up with these as well. But let's try this first. So I'm going to smooth it and then go to mesh tools, go to crease tool and middle mouse drag that out. And you'll see it's going to hold up the corners pretty well. Right, and then if you do these as well here and right click, you see it really holds your corners nicely. So let's do the four corners the same. I have the crease edge tool activated still. Double click. For these ones, the double click will work, and it'll give you a good feedback, the thicker blue line, and then middle mouse drag that out until you get it roughly where you want. And I might even just hold it like that. Q, go to object mode, and there you go. There's your nice kind of beveled, smooth, machined edge on the table. And then let's give it some legs. So we'll go to the cylinder tool. Again, snap is on still, so maybe I should have it off. Pull up a little bit and enter. So let's turn it off just for a minute. Remember, I can just dynamically hold down X when I need to. So we'll go D and V on this one, and then hold down X at the bottom. Is where the leg's going to be. And we'll scale it down. Just do a little foot. Sometimes these are really tiny, depends on the table style. You'll figure it out. Let's see, we have the settings still here. We do want to give it cap divisions of 2. Again, just so I can get rid of that bottom one. Just so we have a little easy space to extrude from. So we can grab these ones here. Oops. Grab what we need more than we need, and take away what we don't need. So it's always a control shift to add a lot, and then a control to take away. Yep, that'll work. And then for this one, let's see, I might go out a little bit. Check your reference, however you want to do this. Right, so I'm going to go shift pull and then move, shift pull. So a lot of times now I'm just using the shift key, so WASD or QWER, QWER. Right, so we're still pulling these in. Another one there, and then shift pull again, and then shift drag up. So I made it quite thin. This one, whatever works for you. On component mold still, switch back over to object. Bring that up. Shift drag again. Scale out some more. Keep going up. Go to 4 viewport mode. And you can just get that so it touches. There we go. And go to edge mode, double click, shift right click to bevel it again. And 1 is way too much. 0.5. There we go. Okay, that'll work. And actually, when these go out, a lot of times there's like a bolted area around it, like a fitted piece. So let's go ahead and do that. So if I have the face is still on, let's go to object mode and let's isolate it for just a quick second and grab these faces here. You'll probably have to do this quite a few times, so I just want to make sure I didn't get any of these little bevels on accident. Always give it a little spin or x-ray back and forth. Okay, so if you want to transition from a circle to a square, whoa, dang it. What we'll do is we'll take this out like that and then scale it out a little bit like so. And then pick a spot on the grid, and we're just going to snap these vertice edges. As long as it's a nice even radial, like a 12 or 16 sided or 20 sided, this should work pretty good. I want to have a point in each of the corners. So let's give this a shot. So I'm going to grab the pivot here. So D and V right up to the very top, and then X, bring it down to the ground like that. You see where I'm going with this. Go to grid options, go from 10 to 20. So you get a little bit more options there. And we're just going to scale these out. So it should be pretty, I hope, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. There we go. So that was a 20-sided one, right? And this should scale out to be, oh, no, not quite. It's going to be 2. 2 of them, yep. That's why I use 16-sided. I should have stuck with 16-sided. So these are going to actually come out and actually create a point in the corner. So we'll get rid of one of the diagonals coming off of that one. So just to show you how this works here. So I'm going to grab these two pieces here, go to Move Tool, hold down X, and snap these over to the corner. There you go. Oops. Missed that somehow. Come on. And 1, 2. So yeah, if that was 16-sided, that would have worked perfectly, but I messed up. So, and then you'll scale these down flat, and then you'll move them on just this axis. They'll snap over. So scale them flat. Whoops. Don't accidentally grab anything underneath like I just did there. That's a big no-no. That was me being too fast and lazy. So go to X-ray mode. Be careful. And then X, bring it over, grab these ones, scale, move, and snap. Scale. Whoop. Make sure I'm not inside a weird tool on accident. When I switch, when I'm trying to hit the Alt key, a lot of times I'll hit the space bar on accident just because they're so close to each other and the space bar is so big. It's easy to do. So scale that flat. Move, hold down X, snap it over. And go back out of X-ray mode, and there you go. So that would be like a little unit to go from how the rounded piece would fit into like a boot that would connect to the table. So what I could do now is grab these corners where there's two vertices sharing the same space, right? We collapse the face down in there. So we want to definitely be merging those together. And if you round it, you'll see if there's any boo-boos happening there. And then we can go to these corners right here, and depending on what you want to do with these corners, we can continue from each side. So if we wanted to, we could do something like this. And do a merge again, right? And just grab those piles there and go edit mesh merge one more time, and then hit 3 on the keyboard, see what that does. So once you've done that successfully, whoops, we got a couple more here I forgot about. I did forget about those ones. You can also use the target weld. So let's see if shift right click has the target weld. I don't see. I see merge vertices there though. Merge vertices target weld. There it is. Click drag over and click drag over. Voila. Finito. Very good. We go to face mode, and we can grab all these faces for the metal top, the boot, the connector part, and we can just average those all out, or make them soften the edges up. But let's grab these faces here. So you have these faces for the top. So grab more than I need, take away what I don't need, and we'll extrude again. Move, hold down shift key, pull that up a little bit. Then scale. This should be a perfect square. And let's see, do I need to move it? Yeah. So shift, pull that in just, whoa. It's getting weird on me. If it's getting weird, freeze, delete history. Don't let it get weird on you. Okay, grab those faces, take away what we don't need. Go, it's okay. Yep, doesn't like that sharp edge, the sharp edges at all. So let's fix that. Let's scale this out a little bit, and we'll do the bevel ourselves by hand here a little bit. And then we'll shift drag up a little like that, and then scale and shift in a little bit. Then move again, pull it up. There we go. So it's got some bruising going on there. So on the faces, hopefully when we average them all out, and then when we soften all the edges, hopefully that works. Let's try smoothing that out. And then definitely for this one, we want to have some of these edges here on the corners. I hit F on the keyboard, take away. So all of these edges here, I'm going to use the crease tool, making sure I got all the way around on there. I did not, because of these spoked intersections, but down here I did. Okay, and then 3 on the keyboard works like a magical charm. Mesh tools, crease tool, middle mouse, whoop, brings it right up to where you want it to be. Pretty awesome. Come down the bottom, way down at the bottom. There we go. Back to 1, you want this one, this one, this one. There's all of them. And then smooth it, and then you want to see what it does in the middle of smoothing. So you can kind of go left to right, go all the way over, and then maybe bring it back up again so it's a little more rounded where you want, and then go to the one you want to be really hard edge, and then push that one all the way. Go to this one here, that one all the way. These other ones we can kind of leave softer. This one maybe at the bottom, we want that. But even that one maybe, you know, not quite maybe. But yeah. So use this edge here, and let's go ahead and bevel that one. I'm still having a hard time here. There we go. Go back to 1 on the keyboard. That's it. And then we can go double click that, smooth it, mesh tool, crease tool, middle mouse drag. There we go. And maybe this one here is a little bit less. So it curves from a harder edge to a softer. And then if you go all the way, it's going to go keep that, you know, sharper, like 45-degree. But if we round it, it's going to transition better. That's usually what you want in those cases. So this one here, you know, you want that round. That one doesn't even need it at all. This one here does need it a little bit. You know, if you want that transition, we can bring this one back. So really the crease tool is your own design aesthetic, like what you want to capture for these pieces. So let's go out of the, back to object, DV, let's get the, whoops. Let's get the pivot back to the bottom, and then hold down X and bring it back up to the ground. There we go. Yeah. Beautiful. Go to the side view, hit F on the keyboard, space bar, go out of X-ray mode for a moment, and we'll go to X. Actually, I should have left that on. That's better. There we go. And now you see we can grab this whole thing here and just go right where you want it, like that. And at the very end, just marquee drag across and hold down X and snap that, and that's going to snap and perfectly touch the bottom of your table. Right click, go to object mode, and go to the top viewport. And so let's align this with our square table. So we'll put 1, hold down X, 1 right there. Shift drag over. Let go shift, hold down X again, 1 right there. Grab them both. Deselect the table, of course. Shift drag over. Let go shift, hold down X, and snap into place. And now you have a pretty nice little simple dinner table, like the old school metal legs looking one. Yeah. And you can still do a lot with this. So if you wanted to make them instances, if you still want to design them, when you replicate them, make them instances of each other. Let's do that real quick. So I'll just grab this leg here and we'll go edit, duplicate, special. And this time we don't need a scale. Just got to remember you change that and make an instance and hit apply. And then we'll go to the top view again and drag that over, hold down X, make sure it's in the right location, and then grab them both. And this is where maybe in this viewport's a little bit easier. Hit apply again, and then hold down X, and then you have the other two. Now, if I do any adjustments for this, let's say I want to make it way, way fatter, right? So I go to scale, and I scale it, and nothing happens. But if I go to component mode and scale it, it will scale. See how nice that works? So remember, the instance, if you're at the object level and making adjustments to it, it's not going to do anything. If you go to the component level and make adjustments, it will update the other instances for that object. So that's your table. Let's see how we do in 45 minutes. Not bad. Okay, let's do a chair. We just do like a simple couch cushion type of chair just out of a cube. So let's make a cube. So we'll go create polygon primitive cubes. This time I'm going to give it some settings in the tool settings here. So let's go, let's see, I don't know, 20 by 20 by, let's see, 20. Let's make that width 80 instead. There we go, and we'll give it some segments. So on the width division, we'll give it 6 by 2 by 2, and I'm sure I'm gonna, and always have the stuff I haven't mentioned before, but always have your UVs on there. And there we go, that automatically creates a little cube for us. And we can kind of eyeball it next to our character reference, whatever character reference you're using. It's from the left side, right? And so let's make it much bigger. So the couch cushion, so make it to where it could be sat upon. Up there, that looks about right. And we can always adjust the scale. Now it's gonna have legs on it, so maybe, yeah, maybe quite a bit smaller. There we go. Okay, and since we still have the ability to change our little, we'll make it like a little two-seater, right? So we can go to the P cube here, and on the width, let's punch in 120. And on the depth, let's go 40. Whoops. Try that again, 40. There we go. And on the depth, let's go 3, no, 4 with it. And on the height is looking good. And the depth, let's go to 8, almost square. 10. There we go. So roughly square. If you're keeping it really easy and divisible, you know, if it's 112 and 120 and I go 12, if the height's 2 and I go 2, the depth's 2 and I go 4, then you're pretty much guaranteed to have a nice little square to work with. Not necessary, but you know, kind of cool. All right, so if we're doing these in even just increments of 10, so let's continue that motif. So let's go here to faces. So be really careful, and let's just maybe grab more than we want and then take away what we don't want. There we go. And now when we use the extrusion tool, if we want to punch in a value on there, we can punch in the value of the local translate at 10. And there you go. And it's actually looking more like 20 would be the value we want. No? That's strange. I thought that would have divided. Oh, maybe I did some math wrong there. 15? Okay, 15 it is. You got it. You got it, computer. Computer doesn't do math wrong, right? Human error. And then go to select and then go back to extrude and go 15 again. And then keep it a low end or a high end. Let's keep it a low end. That's fine. Okay, so for the edges now, we can smooth this couch. There we go. And that might be what you want. You know, there's little couches that are made like that. So go in here with the cylinder tool, make a little foot for it again. So turn that off for a moment, go to the grid options, and let's make it back to 40 so we have a little bit higher resolution of grid pieces to play around with. So that way when I pull out and try that again, let's turn that back on and hit it again. There we go, 1 and then 2 and then yet again I forgot to put the cap in there, no problem. Voila, edge mode. Get rid of the bottom edge, loop that's stuck in the middle. Or this time around we could even scale it out just about right where we need it and then grab the next one above it and just manually make that bubble happen. If I hold down X while X is snapped on, it should turn off. Yeah, it did, there we go. And then we could do the same thing up here. Scale it out right about where you want, and then double click and then bring that down. We kind of manually control the bubble, how rounded we want that to be for the foot of the couch. So these tend to be bigger than the foots for the table. So as long as the pivot is on the bottom, which it's not, so let's go DV, pop that down, freeze, delete history, and then scale it back out somewhere. There we go. And then now we can insert the edge loops around top here. Again, switch to Q, switch to my selection key whenever I need to be certain I'm not accidentally moving or scaling something around. Go to X-ray mode to be certain you didn't accidentally grab anything. These little pieces, you won't bite you too much, but when you get going faster, it really can bite you bad. So not good. Did not mean to do that. Should have gone faces. Oh, I was going to do a connection tool. That's what I was going to do. Connect. And then middle mouse is more than one. That's fine. Now I was going to pull those out. And so pull those out and deselect. Maybe scale out like that, and then bring up a little bit, and then maybe shift pull that up. I was going to just do like a cone top, something like that. Something pretty like stout, sturdy for the side view. And looks like the snap is for this one was there in between. Say I didn't really snap it. D and V, let's bring that down. To there. F on the keyboard. It's centered up to the middle again, and then maybe do it from the front. D and V, and then bring that down so it stays in the middle. There we go. And then X, snap it up to the grid. There we go. So now if I bring the leg in here, and let's go to the top view as well. Similar to what we did with the table, right? And we can drop this back down to, say, 10. Yeah. And X, snap this back to the grid where it was before. There we go. And grab that one. There we go. That looks okay. And then, oh, I went off the ground again. Snap up. There we go. Okay, so now, I'll better save what I'm doing. I have not. Auto saves turned off, so that thing annoyed me. Man, if you forget to hit Control S every now and then, you're really gonna be feeling that. It looks like I froze this thing somehow. I'm not quite sure how. Hmm, must have done something. So anyway, we'll snap the top of this over. Let's see what I did. Okay, it looks like I made it a live surface on accident. Yeah, so if you ever make something a live surface and you can't click on it, but it's green over here, if you can click on it in the outliner, that's why it's been made a live surface. I learned something new today. Didn't know. All right, so let's finish this off. So go into X. It's not quite perfectly centered, but that's okay. Go to the vertex, but we do want it to line up with the top of the piece. So hold down X, bring that up. There we go. And same thing we've been doing. If we want that to have a little bit of a bevel, double click on the bevel and shift right click to the bevel edge and give it a bevel that is reasonable. I said reasonable. 0.5. There we go. That looks good. Okay. Top view, again, I think is easiest. So we want to duplicate special as an instance for this one, in case you want to make changes to it. Hit apply, hold down X, snap it on over. There we go. It's just about good. Grab them, take away the couch, hit apply again, activate the viewport, hold down X, and snap those back. Right about there. And that should do it. Let's, yeah, so if we do anything to the component level, we'll do the same to the all of them. So if we round it, smooth, it's going to smooth all of them, right? Let's put the wireframe on solid back on there so you can see that. So that's switching it from rounded to normal. And it actually looks kind of cool like that. I might just leave that partially. No, it's really melting the detail down. And then this one here, we melted that one down pretty good as well. Could do some more with it. And yeah, I think that works. Put the interior parts back, walls and floors back on. And there you go. There's a lamp. Walls, floors, windows, doors, table, couch. All done in less than an hour for all the furniture, 1 hour for the room setting. And so it might take you, 5 or 6 hours if you follow along. Keep it simple. Some of you are, getting really comfortable with Maya, so it's really a comfort level thing. So if you want to, feel free to make something more advanced. But there's a lot more to build. We're building trees and buildings and roofs, and might do tail or hair or wings or more costume items. You have a lot of stuff you can do. Control G. I'll just group this to the couch. So make sure you have time enough to dedicate to all this, and make sure you're naming everything. So table, tabletop, tabletop gaming. And then let's see, I can spell, I believe, just barely. Tabletop. Go table leg _01. Take most of that text. And yeah, if you name stuff and have the numerical, it automatically puts a incremental number on it for you. But whatever saves you time is great. So grab all those again, Control G, and call this table. And once we get the table group and the couch group, there's table. Make sure that you're moving the pivot so that it's in a place that you're happy with. So, oops, hold down D, right? Bring that over. And this one is see if it's on the ground or not. So, yes, it is on the ground. Cool. And then when you're grabbing the table, you just got to make sure you have the group selected. Then the lamp should be done. So we got the lamp group. I guess I should put the underscore group, table underscore group. And this is naming conventions lets you search for and find things. You can find groups of things and move things. So we're kind of keeping this organized for a reason. Here's a couch. So we'll go couch cushion. And then we'll go couch leg underscore 01. Copy. Paste 2. Paste 3. Paste 4. There we go. And then same thing, let's get that pivot D and X, make sure that it's been properly aligned to the couch. I think that's perfect in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's right in the middle. And these are all on the ground too. So anything that's gonna be placed on the ground and moved on the ground, you want its core base to be flat so that when you drag it around and place it on in your scene, that it goes in the right location. The door and door frame, same thing. You want it down the ground. Wall, you want on the ground. The windows you want in that corner because you want it to find the right spot inside the wall, the window frame, excuse me. And then the window pane themselves you want in the other corner. So those are those will float. Those aren't going to get. You're not going to place your window frame on the ground unless it's on the ground. Then if it's like a sliding glass window door, then that's a different story. Then you put the pivot down there. That's definitely would work. If you want to do a little bit more of this couch, so I'll replicate that. So couch cushion 01. So I'll bring it out here, and we could play around with it a little bit. So let's do that. So let's double click these corners here. And let's play around with how this couch is going to round off and deform. So I'm just going to round the couch. There we go. Whoa. That was actually what just happened. That was really funky. No. Yeah, so we'll go to the mesh tools, go to the crease tool, and we'll right click and we'll see what happens when we kind of flatten it out a bit. Right, so it gets too hard, right? So you want to play with, you know, how you want this thing to be rounded off. It's definitely a matter of taste at this point, like how you want it to hold up and what shape you're going for. If you're doodling, if you like sketching and deciding this type of stuff, then you'll have a lot of fun with it. You see right there, double click, little mouse drag. Mouse drag a little bit, yeah. And then you'll decide how much of you want it to do with the crease tool and how much you want to do with, you know, adding actual geometry in there. So I'm keeping it rounded on the top, but then right here I'm pushing that all the way to the corner, pushing that one and this one all the way to the corner. There we go. This part right here. Double click that. That's going to really have a giant impact on there. Same thing here on the top and on the front here. There we go. So those are all sharpened all the way, so to speak. And these ones are also pushed all the way to the corner. The bottom here, all the way to the corner. This one, all the way. There we go. And then you can kind of dial it back from there, depending on your design, like how you want it to go. So you can see two very different couches, right? You may also want to turn this into a chair, right? So we just very easily bring that into a chair. It looks like it kind of has a similar, oh, I did a shift on accident. I meant to hit the J key. That actually kind of works. There we go, like that. So maybe, you know, you put the couch over on the side, bring the table out, and have these chairs. Uh-oh, I think I just tilted it sideways on accident. Yeah. There we go. and then we could just grab the legs and replicate the legs. So we just go to the couch legs, we duplicate them, and then we would drag them with one of the couch cushions here and group that, and then take it outside of the couch group, outside the lamp group as well. There we go. Sometimes these are hard too. And oh, where the hell did it go? I feel like I accidentally put it on a different layer. Oh, I did put it on the modular test group somehow. Yeah, don't know how that happened. Ah, and it still won't come off of there. Huh. So let's see, we want to move these over. Whoa. We want to go to the modular test group and remove those objects, and then I think I'm probably getting tired. Modular test group still on there. Huh. It is a giant pain in the neck. I don't know how that happened. Here's the other couch legs. Are they over there? They are. Okay, are they in this? They are. So let's remove them. Maybe put them on their own, put them in furniture, and that'll take them off. No, it's still stuck them on there. I don't know why. Call this chair _01. And let's get it, make sure it's out of everything completely. So I probably have a bunch of crazy, yeah, I think I stuck it in the modular test group or something like that. But hopefully now they are firmly into this one. So they hide with the test group, and if I hide the modular, there we go. Yeah, when you're going really fast, you're going to hit keys, so just be aware that you might have some goofy stuff to deal with on occasion. So let's grab everything in this chair, and we'll isolate it and grab all the legs, and maybe go to the top view as well, and isolate. And there we go. And now we can move all these legs around. So I'm going to hold down X, bring them closer, and then hold down X again, and then bring them underneath. And I don't think that this has been aligned too much yet. So yeah, not yet. So we can deselect some of these. See, I guess I got the two. I do have the two here. So I can get these onto the grid a little bit. There we go. And then we can grab the front ones, depending on how close or far back you want the legs to be. So let's bring them, whoa, I did a shift drag on accident. Definitely not what I wanted to do. And then I want to do X drag, not shift drag. So many shortcut keys to remember, right? And then X, and then there we go. Maybe the back one's further, but I'll just keep them the same. So there's a little bit of space happening there. There we go. And then that says couch leg, so we'll just go chair leg, and then copy and paste. Now make sure everything's named, because we're gonna UV map everything and we're gonna drop it into Unreal Engine. So you're gonna build your own scene in Unreal, which is a ton of fun. Oh, it's still inside the table group. I'll be darned. Keep on. Yeah, it won't go outside of any of this stuff. Let's see if I can get it out. There we go, finally. Now, can I put it in between these without it going in? Yeah, okay. I always had a problem with that, so I'm sure some stuff I got to brush up on. It's been a while. All right, so there we go. So let's go out of the isolate mode and see where we're at with our little space. We have our space built for our Gearbot Studios. We have the other chair over here. It's inside the couch group. Here's the couch cushion. There's the chair. We'll call this chair cushion, and there's chair group. So that's chair cushion 2. That means this should be chair cushion 1, and we'll group it. Chair _02 underscore GRP, and get the chair cushion in it, and make sure to pull it out of all the other groups, and then I can pull it back down to the other one. And inside the couch group we have the 4 legs, so we will duplicate those, drag them into the new chair group 2, and hopefully these move without too much problems. Yeah, there we go. The legs moving to this side, and then very carefully chair leg 1, chair leg 5, copy. Chair leg 8, there we go. So those are all now part of say lamp modular. So I think all of these pieces here, let me just make sure we're getting everything inside all these groups. So yeah, from here to here, all of those pieces will right click, go on to furniture. There we go. And we're not freezing, but we can, maybe can we still delete their history? Yeah, okay, that's good. So the last chair legs over here, let's grab the cushion again from the top viewpoint and get rid of the walls and floors and the ceiling. And let's hold down X and align this up for a moment. So that looks pretty good. Mostly in alignment with on the other side, not 100%, that's okay. And then X on the keyboard, bring it over to and to there, and then there and there. So see how easy this is to look at from the top-down viewport, even with the grid off. It's very clean, very easy to navigate, you know, what's happening there. Gonna assemble things easier. There's the chair group, and then we'll go back to the 4 viewport mode. There we go. Okay, that should be good enough. Next time we're going to look into doing some rigging and animation, some details, put some doorknobs, and then we're going to load this into Unreal Engine. Excuse me, before that we're going to UV map everything. So all these pieces here that you see, we are going to go into the UV editor and do a simple UV unwrap, and you'll find it's very easy to do these pieces compared to a character, which was absolutely brutal. There it goes, just grab it, unwrap it. Same thing with this one and this one. You can grab multiple pieces at a time, hit Control U, and just unwrap them. We'll pick and choose where we want the seams to unwrap on this stuff, of course, but should be, in principle, should be that easy to do. Let's see, where's our edge on this one? I think it's that one. I like goes around the front or the back. Oh, that's the front there. Okay. Yeah, and then the other one's here. Yep. So that one and that edge right there, we can cut those. And then when we unwrap them, they'll unwrap a little bit easier for us. And same thing over here when we do the, excuse me, when we do the sides. So we go down. To these parts over here on the sides of the couch, we can, you know, pick where. Now, once I UV unwrap one, we're just going to delete the other one and just replicate it. You could transfer UVs and things like that, but that'll be much more of a pain than it's worth. Here we go. Uh-oh, what did I do? There's a table. What's over there in the little corner of the table? I cut something over in there on accident? Looks like I did. Huh. All right, up there, huh? Let's see, what did we do? Yeah, so smoothing things also reveals any errors you might have. So a lot of times you'll find errors and things that definitely don't belong. And yeah, I think I just missed it when I did the smoothing algorithm was all. But yeah, smoothing your model, flipping back and forth from 1 to 3 pretty consistently will really help you identify, like this piece here. If I go and smooth it, you see it's flexing way in the heck out there. So with the crease tool, how it bends and creases will really make a huge difference on your finished look on there. So this table here was started off as a cube. So let's see if this just go to face mode. No, it's not going to let me. Object mode, face mode, grab all those and just hit Control U. And there you go. Yeah, that's pretty darn good. I'd be happy with that. We probably cut the seam underneath all the way around the bottom of this thing. So I would say this piece here all the way around the bottom is where we will cut the UV seams for the table. There and there. And one more corner. Ooh, the other couch is getting in the way. That should be isolating this thing. There we go. So that's one edge for sure. So Shift X on that to cut it, and then for the face, we could just grab that one big face there and just move it out of the way. And then the rest of this thing, we're just going to do a flat planar project on the whole thing. So just one flat planar project, and then we're going to cut it at the 4 corners. So we're just going to go here, 1, and actually we wouldn't have to do all the way up the bevel, do we? Let's see. Yeah, we'll just go right to the edge. So we'll just go 1. There. And 2 over here. And go around to the 4th corner. And just like flattening out a cardboard box. Just remember, that's all you got to do. Just flatten out. There we go into, oh, what's this one? Three, 4, 4, yeah, there we go. So we just get those 4 sides cut, go into this UV window, Shift X to cut, go to faces, double click, it'll get the whole shell of UVs, and then hit Control U, and you get a nice, perfect, flat cardboard box layout. And see the checkers are all nice, and they're all in the right order. And underneath, I think so. Let's see, this one also in the right order, and we can just, I'll get that key to scale them all uniformly, but still working on it. There we go. So that one can go next to it. And that's it. And then you just pack it into the 0 to 1 space here. And maybe the bottom part is smaller, so it doesn't have to be equal, but I'm just leaving it equal just for simplicity's sake. Yeah. And we'll pack it, we'll have it share a texture map with another object. So we'll, if you have a lot of empty space, a lot of times when you're modeling something, you can't fit everything in nicely into the UV space. You're left with a lot of empty pixel space. And so the right thing to do with that is just to combo it with another object and have it share the same texture map. That usually works out pretty well. Okay, that's it for now. We'll come back and we'll finish some more.